Hey everybody, Brock Frady here, helping you enjoy your ride. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at this beautiful 2024 BMW 330i. But before we get started, I would like to say a huge thank you to Impex Auto Sales in Greensboro, North Carolina for the opportunity to film this beautiful BMW. I'll be sure to leave all of Impex Auto Sales contact information, including their website, in the description box below. The original MSRP of this 2024 330i was $50,920. That's quite a pretty penny, $51,000 for a vehicle. However, it's got a great driving dynamic, as I imagine you would know a BMW would have. They are built for driving. It's got a slick little twin turbo 4-cylinder engine that absolutely is wonderful. I also love the exterior dynamics of it. It looks like windswept. It looks a little bit more sedate though than I have seen BMW 3 Series in the past. I don't know if that's something that BMW is going for specifically as far as the outer look of the vehicle. I would imagine they would want to make it look as kind of aggressive as possible. But this one to me just looks a little bit more laid back, a little bit more sedate. Dual exhaust there in the rear. Of course, on the outside, all of the lights are LED. It has a really cool feature that we'll take a look at in just a second. And that feature is when you have the key fob on your person, it will lock and unlock. As you approach the vehicle, it will unlock. As you walk away from it, it will lock automatically. That's a great feature. Notice those beautiful 5-spoke BMW alloy wheels. I really like the way those look. Low profile tires. These are run flat tires. This one does have the optional 19-inch by 8-inch double spoke bicolor orbit gray wheels. You're also going to have ventilated disc brakes on the front, ventilated disc brakes in the back for that spirited driving that you're going to be doing in this pretty little vehicle. Up front, on the left and the right, you're going to see air curtains. You see that slit right there? That's pretty neat. That directs air for better efficiency. You also have air intakes right here that are actually intelligent. They can open and close in order to cool the engine as needed. These LED headlights are super impressive. They can actually see up to 600 meters, allow you to see up to 600 meters away at night. That's like 600 and something yards. So to be able to see 6 football fields away from you at night, that's pretty impressive from a safety standpoint. I do like the double kidney grille, and you can see that there is a camera right there up front. Of course, the beautiful BMW icon right there. And this thing does have cameras all over the place. I also love the fact that the cameras are crisp. They are super clear, and you have a very usable, very easily interfaced camera system that you can kind of do a 360-degree view. It'll help you park, all that wonderful stuff. There's another park assist dot right there. I love the look of it. The exterior is nice and sleek. Again, it's kind of plain, but I'm going to reserve plain, and I'm going to say it's laid back. It's sedate. It doesn't have anything to prove. How about that? Because it's got a feisty little engine, and it can drive like it's on rails. What a cool looking vehicle. As far as exterior dimensions are concerned, the length is 185.9 inches, width 81.4 inches, height is 56.8 inches, wheelbase is 112.2 inches, and the turning circle is 37.4 feet. It also has a curb weight of 3,536 pounds. So I want to show you this walkaway locking feature that it has. I have the key on my person, so watch this. It's unlocked. There it is. So I was able to get from there to here before it locked. Now I'm going to walk towards it. I was right here when it unlocked. Isn't that neat? So you don't even ever have to pull this out of your pocket. That is a great feature. And I utilize this to, oh, there it is again. and you also see that the mirror is folded in as well. I utilized this feature when I was on my way over here. My hands were full with my camera equipment and it just unlocked for me, and that was absolutely fabulous. Let's check out the trunk. This, by the way, unlock please. Thank you. This, by the way, is going to be your fuel door. You can see it's on the right side of the vehicle. BMW recommends at least 91 octane. There is a backup camera here. You can see there. And then there's going to be a little rubber button right here. And you just squeeze that with the key fob on your person, or the door's unlocked. Also notice that the trunk sprung open for me. Very, very nice. It's got a nice, impressive, deep trunk there as well. Notice also you have a 40-20-40 split, so you can fold down your seats, or you can fold down the middle independently of the two sides and carry long items and 2 passengers. Nice, big, bulky trunk. I do like that. It does not have a spare because it runs on run flats. Very, very easy to close that trunk. Dual exhaust looks really, really good. And there she goes locking again. And now let's take a look at the heart of the beast. Also, something that I love about the hood, it's 2 things actually. Number 1, there's no latch. So once you unlatch it inside the cabin, all you do is throw it up. And then the second one is there's no arm that you have to balance the hood on. It stays up automatically on its own shocks. Isn't that fabulous? Here's the thing that I love most about this engine: twin turbo power. This is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder, produces 255 horsepower and a whopping 295 pound-foot of torque. That's connected to an 8-speed shiftable automatic transmission. It is rear-wheel drive, and it'll go from 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds. I would love to see a vehicle that is twin turbocharged and cost almost $51,000 to have at least 300 horsepower and 300 pound-foot of torque. Because to be paying this much for 255 horsepower, that's in my opinion, that is a little bit slight. So, because I know the Lexus IS350 has over 300 horsepower, 306, I believe. So right here is your battery connection. In order to jump it off, breather box, various fluids right here. But the most important thing to me, twin turbo. And I love how since it is twin turbo, you feel absolutely 0 turbo lag, and we'll get into that in the drive. The back seat room is not all that bad in this thing. I'm over 6 feet, and this seat is adjusted for somebody that my height would be comfortable up there. You've got a couple of different nice features back here, including air vents, and to where you can control the air from back here, whether it's automatic or adjusting the temperature. You also have a couple of Apple Lightning ports, cup holders right here in the center armrest, and that's about it. But as far as the comfort in the seats in the back, it's nice and comfortable. Another cool little touch BMW has is footwell lighting in the back right here, and I think you can actually adjust that as far as the specific color you want to be in the interior lighting of the vehicle. That's a standard feature, so it's really nice. Also, I like the way the leatherette feels in this thing. It feels nice and solid, but it's also soft. It definitely feels very, very quality, so that's a really, really good thing. Back seat, pretty nice. Now, as far as the front is concerned, the most exciting seat in the house, but on the left side, on the inside of the door, that's going to be all of your door unlock is right here, lock and unlock is there, your window operation, your mirror controls, and then that is for your trunk. Also notice that this one has the upgraded Harman Kardon stereo system. That system thumps pretty good. That also, I think that package also includes things like a heated steering wheel, heated seats, a couple of other premium features. But notice that giant screen right there on the other side of the steering wheel. Let's hop in right now and take an in-depth look at all that stuff, because it is nice. Now, the cockpit of this thing is so very driver-centric. you can see, as I mentioned earlier, this beautiful screen. You see how big that is? It's actually technically split into two different screens. You've got one here and you have one over here. You can see there's a little bit of a division right there, but it's all integrated into one unit, and it is gorgeous. It's super clear, and I love all of the icons and how BMW has taken a lot of research and a lot of pain to make this very, very nice. It's like mega high definition digital, and it is beautiful. Down here on the steering wheel on the left side is going to be your cruise control operation. Then over here on the right side is going to be audio, voice commands, some Bluetooth, and then some stuff for the middle of the dash right there. And let's take a look at that right now. So if I hit this, you can see where it shows up right there, and it says content, and you can then take the little wheel and roll it down, and it's going to change what is on the content in the middle right there. So that's going to be your compass, that's going to be a map that's in real time, of course, that's going to be a G meter, that's fun for fast and spirited driving, G force meter. And then that's your content of your audio. So if you have your audio on, it'll show you that right there. And so that's what is going to be displayed in the center right there all the time. And that's going to be your odometer and everything. That's your speedometer. So I'm going to leave it on map. I just like that. But then you can push this right here, and it will switch it to the heads-up display. And then you can see your heads-up display right here. So we're going to roll that. I'm actually going to roll that up, and so that is just regular heads up. Then that is going to be your compass, directional view, sport view, reduced, and that's it. So let's go sport view right there, because on the left side is going to be your speed, and on the right side is going to be your tack of those icons at the very top of this heads-up display. That's a beautiful heads-up display too, by the way. On the left side of the back of the steering wheel is going to be your shiftable automatic, and like I said, it's an 8-speed shiftable automatic, so at any speed you can just simply start to pull these paddles. On the left side it's downshift, and on the right side it's upshift, and man, it shifts nice and fast. It's super responsive. Over here on the left side is going to be your turn signals and your brights and everything. Automatic headlights, by the way. It has automatic headlights, so they'll cut on automatically as it senses the sun is going down. You also have a little 3-blink lane change thing, so you can tap it just without fully engaging it, and that will allow you to simply change lanes. Over here on the right side is going to be your stalk for your windshield wipers, and I love how BMW has put fast and slow right there. So this is going to be for your intermittent speeds, and it leaves no confusion as to what is there. This is going to be so that it wipes faster and slower in accordance with the rainfall. That's very nice. Auto is lit up because that is indicating that the automatic rain sensing wipers feature is activated. If it started to rain right now, they would cut on automatically. Now, for years and years, BMW has caught a lot of flack for the inefficiency of their navigational systems. The cars drive amazingly well, but they were hard to operate. However, I have found in this one, BMW has done a lot of improvements. It's really good. So right here, and I pressed home on a screen earlier, and you can see that you can actually scroll, and it's super efficient as far as the touchability of everything. And then you can see when I do that, you can see the home appears right there. And so we're on the home screen right now, and this is fully customizable, and it's not that difficult. So you have a map right here, and you can touch that, and it's going to expand the entire screen to the map, where you can then have specific things to input a destination into the map. And you see, if I did not want to input that destination, boom, right there it is. So I can take this and zoom it in. I can zoom back out, and you can see that it then highlights these come back. And so I can go destination input, I can go recent destinations, my destinations, I can set home and work. By the way, if you've ever seen my navigation videos before, do not put your actual home in there as a home destination, because somebody, if they have your keys, they can take your car and go right to your house. So that's that. You can go spoken instructions. Suggestions is pretty neat. It's going to suggest fuel stations and places to stop. You can also add suggestions as well. Settings is going to be right there, and you can go route preferences if you want it to. If you know construction is going to be happening on a certain thoroughfare and you want it to avoid those areas, you can simply do that too. So back to home, and then you have the things that you're going to use the most: media, radio, telephone, personal assistant. You can say talk to me, and this system actually will learn speech patterns and everything as you use it on a regular basis. So I really recommend using the personal assistant as far as voice commands are concerned. Traffic on route, and then values since last refuel. You can reset that as well. Route preview, and then the clock and the date. Also notice that a consistent thing down here is going to be your climate. I like that that's there, but from what I have seen, this is the only place to access climate controls, and I wish BMW would have built in climate controls down lower underneath the air registers where the radio buttons normally are. But it looks like these are going to be the only ways that you can access climate. But you can hit climate menu, and then you can make all of your climate adjustments right there. So heated seats are on the very ends, and then manually adjusting your fan speed, manually adjusting the fan direction or the mode. Hitting AC, sync is going to make these the same temperature in case you want to control both sides of the cabin, or all three I should say, because it has rear controls as well. And then like I said, max AC. Automatic program. Every other vehicle I've ever been in just says auto, so that makes it work like the central air in your house. So if I hit auto and then I adjust the temperature here to like 72 degrees, it's going to automatically keep it at 72 degrees. Auto air recirculation, you can make that so it brings in fresh air. It automatically recirculates the air, or air recirculation. Automatic. The reason there's a difference between automatic air recirculation and air recirculation is because the vehicle can sense if the air outside is too impure to be in the cabin under automatic, and it will determine whether it will bring in fresh air or it will recirculate according to the air outside or the air quality. And then settings, temperature adjustment, upper body, I can go preconditioning, departure plan, second row of seats, what do I want to do? So that's pretty neat, because you have the ability to really customize the climate controls for your rear passengers as well. How cool is that? Going back to the home screen here and swiping over, and you can then hit this icon with all the apps in it and check out all these apps that you now have access to. And remember what I said about how colorful and bright and brilliant everything was? I don't know that the camera can pick up just how clear all of this is, but this is like state-of-the-art, super nice, very, very clear. So there's your personal assistant like we saw before. Notice that it also has wireless Toyota, because Toyota has to make you still connect with a wire to your phone. It is 2024, so BMW recognizes that. So thank you, BMW, for making wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. You also, down here, you have Audible. Let's see, you also have Google Maps or CarPlay Maps. You've got Pandora, you've got Spotify, Waze. I mean, this, I've yet to see a apps menu that is as thorough as this, because this, look at that, Zoom and CarPlay, my goodness. So if you're want to have a meeting, Teams, and so these are all coming from my phone, by the way. Some of these are. So then you have things that you can control here, and these are independent vehicle settings. So you can go displays, and how do you want the heads-up display to work? So then whatever display applies here. So heads-up display, instrument cluster, and control display. I can control the height, the rotation, the brightness, all of that of my heads-up display. Instrument cluster, and so I can go over here, and instrument cluster is over here where all my speed and my tachometer and everything is. And then control display. How do I want it to be bright at night? I actually want to bring that down just a little bit, because having it all the way up there at night seems like it would just be too bright. Driving settings. And so lane departure warning, that was actually deactivated. That's on now. We've got selectors down here behind the start engine button that say Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro, and that's going to be the driving dynamics of the vehicle. So if you want to go sport and you want to drive it a little more feisty, well, this allows you to adjust those automatically. So steering is in sport, drivetrain is in sport, transmission is in sport. I like all those. I'm going to leave those, but you can go to comfort if you wish. Back to the home button or back to the apps button. I'm just amazed by all of these things that you have. Digital key, automate habits, hide private information. This is just like overwhelmingly awesome. Navigation, we saw that a little bit. Owner's manual, mobile devices. Also notice that if it has a like this blue and aqua look to it, to the individual little widget, that seems to be native to the vehicle. So you can see all of these are native to the vehicle. And then the ones that are different multicolors are ones I think it's pulling off of my phone. So that's pretty neat. And then interior lighting. So remember I told you earlier that you can change the color of the interior lighting, and I can actually see the interior lighting on some of the door little garnishes there right there. But we're going to go color, and I'm going to turn it to turquoise, and it just changed it. I'm going to adjust the brightness and make the brightness go up a little bit. Reduce for night driving, yes please. And dynamic light, man, that is just super neat. So now it has a whole different aqua feel to it in here. So that's going to be all of your apps. So really get in here and mess with it. And then you can categorize them. Infotainment apps, and those are going to be the ones that it mainly pulls off of your phone. And then vehicle apps. Again, see that? All of the ones that are blue and aqua, those are vehicle apps, and then infotainment apps are the ones that are in full color. Back to the home, and then there's music, so we can pick a source. There's Apple CarPlay, and believe it or not, I listen to brown noise. Oops, you guys were just, I actually do this when I read. This is just a little bonus material here. I put on headphones when I read, and I listen to this. And it makes it so I can focus, because I have ADHD in HD. So that's what I was listening to last before from my phone via my headphones. And then right here back to Apple CarPlay. And this is obviously pulling off of my phone. And you have seen some of those settings right there that I showed you earlier. So this is, like I said, BMW has done a fantastic job with making this user-friendly and just beautiful. It's a fantastic system, and I didn't even use the voice commands, and I have used the voice commands, and those are actually really, really nice. I do want to show you one thing here though. You can go to navigation, and you can go to destination input, and I can go search. And so right now I'm going to show you the dial that I'm using. You can see here, and I'm turning it right now. You see all that? So okay, that's me turning this dial. So you can see it's a multi-directional dial, up, down, left, and right. And on here you have on the base you have media, home, map, telephone, navigation, back, and option. This, by the way, is your gear selector, start button, Sport, Eco Pro, Sport Comfort Eco Pro Auto Hold. So this will keep you stopped at a stoplight without even having to put your foot on the brake. Engine Auto. So this will actually turn the engine off at a stoplight to save fuel. This is Park Assist, and this is going to be your camera system, and I'll show you that in just a second. Traction control off. But right now, I want to focus on this, on showing you how to find a destination, and you can actually write on this. So I went destination input, I went search, and then I'm going to press down. So now we're going to take a look at the screen again. So right now I can take this and I can write. You see that? Isn't that fantastic? So we're going to clear that out, and I'm going to write S
T A R B U.
And then see right here, it's automatically populating. By the way, I'm left-handed, and I was doing that with my right hand, so I need props for that. Thank you very much. And so you can see it's automatically populating it right there. So if I wanted to just write down on the dial, and you can see that it was receiving the input that I was doing, and then it automatically pulls up Starbucks. Guidance, nearby. So I can go here. And it's showing me all of this that you see here. It's showing me that on my heads-up display and on the center of the dash. That is just the coolest. So I've got alternative routes. I can go spoken instructions, and you can see I've not touched anything, so it automatically is going to take me there now. That is so cool. And there is how you delete the navigation point. And as I mentioned, I did that just by writing the letters right there on that, just like that, touching it. So as far as this center portion is concerned, there's a lot going on here. These are all going to be like navigation and things that you're going to see up on the screen. And these are all going to be driving things right here on the left side. So as long as I put my foot on the brake, the car is running, I can put my foot on the brake and go here, and it's in drive. It's actually in shiftable drive mode right now. And so I can do that, and now it is in regular drive. I can push it up, and now I'm in reverse. And I want to show you these backup cameras, because these backup cameras are absolutely fabulous. So here are your backup cameras. You can see you have dynamic grid lines here. Then you have another thing right here that is the overhead stitched view of all of the cameras that are working together on the exterior of the vehicle. I can go 3D view. Now watch this. There are little dots or little segments right here. So I can press one and it will show me the 3D view that corresponds to the mark. How neat is that? So I can literally look around the vehicle from the inside to make sure that I'm totally clear to exit my area. Then there's car wash mode, and you can see there are lines right here, so that if I go into a car wash, I can make sure that I'm lined up with the path into the car wash that I need to go. That's just the coolest. So right now I'm going to be in sport mode, because that's where I wanted to drive this thing in. And I love the twin turbo. There is no lag at all. It is so impressive, and that is because it's twin turbo. Anytime you have an opportunity to get a vehicle and it's twin turbo, jump all over that, because then that means there's little to no turbo lag. And I'm so impressed with this BMW 3 Series because it has zero lag at all. It just feels like instant power. The thing I love about this is the fact that it's got way more torque than it does horsepower. It's got 255, but as far as the horsepower, but the torque is 290 something, 296 I think, and that just makes it, the fun factor, just amazing. It almost makes it so that the horsepower seems a little less significant, or I would say the lack thereof, because I think in a vehicle of this caliber, as far as being right at $51,000, it should have more horsepower, at least 300. But this twin turbo, I just can't speak highly enough for it. It feels absolutely fantastic. Again, we are in sport mode, and so what that does is it's gonna make the throttle response much more sensitive, and you can tell it. It's also going to change the way the dash looks. Right now the speedometer and everything, all that is like orange and yellow, and it's a little bit more aggressive looking. So I'm going to put it now in comfort, and everything is going to be blue, and you have this beautiful blue desert looking thing with a highway going through it and the river going through it. Now we're in comfort mode, and you can immediately tell the difference between comfort and sport. There's a noticeable immediate difference. I have to really put my foot into the accelerator in order to achieve the same speed that I was trying to achieve in sport. So it makes it much more sedate. I don't know if it changes the steering or I think it's supposed to change the steering, make it a little more fluid or less responsive, maybe loosen it up a little bit. But I don't know if it changes the suspension as well. It doesn't really feel like it's changing the suspension at all, but that's that. Then you have Eco Pro, and Eco Pro is going to require the most pedal input. So in other words, from sport to Eco Pro, there's a really big difference between the two as far as being able to achieve the same speed with the input from the accelerator. So I really have to get into it if I'm going to want to achieve the same speed. It has the same power available, it's just the delivery of the power is a lot different. Now as far as the noise in the cabin, it's great. It's very minimal. I would think that when these run flat, low profile tires start to wear, you're gonna hear some pretty significant tire noise, but that's just based on my experience from low profile tires. Plus these are run flats, so they're more stiff, but the fact that they're low profile means they're more sticky and more fun to handle in curves. But for right now, they're whisper quiet. I love the displays, both displays in front of me, through being able to see through the steering wheel, and to the right of that really big, beautiful plate looking thing that I have here. And I was concerned about glare and fingerprints, but that doesn't seem to be an issue at all. It's just really nice. So right now I'm in Eco Pro. As I said before, we're going to switch to Sport because we're going to take a right onto a little straightaway here, and man, I can feel the bumps. The brake holding feature's nice. I just switched it to paddle shifting. See how that is? Man, that is amazing that that's a little 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Goodness gracious. You can probably hear the shifting there as well. God, that shift is super responsive. And I can see here D1 as I'm shifting up through the gears. Handling curves just like it's on rails. That is fabulous. And it automatically shifts down into drive. So if I want to go paddle again, I just press paddle. That is just, man, that is impressive. That is impressive. And then if I want to shift, go back into the transmission just taking over, I can press and long hold one, and then it automatically went back to the standard transmission just taking over automatically. Wow, that's really, really nice. I could also feel the lane mitigation system trying to keep me in my lane, and also vibrating the steering wheel. That's a good thing. But it's really impressive, the torque that you have in that little twin turbo. My gosh, it is beautiful. And then the instantaneous response of these paddle shifters. You know, paddle shifters of the past were like paddle shifters. They really didn't do much of anything, and you had to almost imagine that they were doing something. This little puppy, boy, it's Johnny on the spot. It feels really, really good. It's just shy of a dual clutch, dare I say. It doesn't have the punch, but man, it's quite impressive of how quickly it shifts and how easy that is to operate. There's no guesswork here. It's just feels really nice. Okay, everybody, that's going to do it for our in-depth look at the 2024 BMW 330i. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Be sure to check out Impex Auto Sales on the worldwide internet machine. But remember, the most important thing of all, have a wonderful day, everybody.